start out with Jason Kersey with The Athletic, and then we'll go to Eric Bailey. Jason?
Hey, Marvin. I wanted to ask you about Billy Bowman. I know that's a guy you played against in high school, guy a lot of people are pretty excited about. What do you remember about some of your matchups with him, and what do you think he brings to the team?
Oh man, me and Billy go way back. I played against him in our little league as we were growing up, and he was a year younger, but he would play up. And I want to say it was about third grade. I've been playing against him, and he's a huge competitor. I mean, he brings a lot of athleticism to both sides of the ball. Actually, right now he's primarily on defense, working with them. But I mean, the athleticism he brings just from playing with him, from when we were little into high school. I mean, he's a great player. I can't wait to see how he progresses, this spring and even into the fall.
Thanks, Marvin.
We'll go to Eric Bailey and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, Marvin, thanks for your time today, man. Hey, I just was wondering, it's only been a few practices, but what are your early thoughts on Caleb Williams?
Oh, yeah, Caleb's a great quarterback. I mean, as highly touted as he was coming in, I mean, he's living up to the expectations. He's a great guy, fun guy to talk to, play around with. I mean, he's doing everything we expect him to do, and he's going to keep growing, so I'm really excited about him.
Thanks a bunch. Have a good week, man.
Thank you, too.
Joe Bettner and then James Hale.
Hey, Marvin, just with the way you came in last year, not having a normal offseason amid a pandemic, I'm curious what prepared you to have the type of season you had. If you could just maybe take us through just that preparation and how maybe you can apply that as well this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, whenever COVID hit about this time last year, I mean, it was kind of, go train on your own, work out on your own. So kind of got with a guy back from home, try to get my body as prepared as it could be, for the upcoming season or when I got back to school for workouts. And yeah, I was at a disadvantage, but so were the other guys, coming in during the summer just because they missed so much time too. So basically just, staying on myself, make myself get up every day, do the extra stuff I needed to do. And then from the playbook, I mean, it was just all memorization, just mental. So.
Thanks, Marvin.
James Hale and then Bob Prisbillo.
Marvin, it's great to talk to you, man. You had such a great freshman year. You go into this second year. I'm curious what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, and how important is this spring practice for you since you didn't get to have one last year?
Well, yeah, I had a great year last year, but I want to keep building on it. Anything, lower than that would be, in my eyes, if I did the same stuff I did last year, I mean, there's no growth. So I want to keep growing as a player, as a leader on this team, and just as a teammate, for everyone else. And this spring, I'm really excited about it. It's something that I haven't done and something that some of the older guys above me haven't done either just because of the timetable. So I just like the extra practices, getting to know, more stuff with the coaches, getting into the offense more, just know things around me instead of my personal job, know the other things guys are doing around me.
Hey, good luck, man.
Thank you.
Bob Prisbillo and then Chandler Engelbrecht.
Marvin, why do you think you were able to develop such a quick chemistry with Spencer Rattler when you guys really hadn't had any time together before last season?
Really, it's just the way the offense is, conducted with Coach Riley. I mean, Spencer would put the ball in areas where he'd expect me to be. And, with the route, the way we have to run it, the combinations, I'd be there. It's just going out there and just, doing the things that we were taught to do. Even with the limited amount of time we had, I mean, when we got back, we hit the ball rolling, as much throwing sessions that we can get as receivers because we had a really young room last year. So, yeah, that's how it happened.
Hey, Chandler Engelbrecht and then Brandon Drum.
Hey, Marvin, I'm curious, what have you seen from Mario Williams so far this spring? And for new guys like him, how important is it to you to be a leader to those guys?
It's pretty cool. Being one of the youngest guys on the team. I mean, it's kind of different, especially since from being a senior in high school to coming here. But Mario's a little twitchy guy, he's really quick, explosive. So just being able to let him know hey, do this, blah, blah, blah. This is what you got. Try to run it this way if this happens. It's kind of cool being able to coach other guys up just from the role I had last year, this year.
Brandon Drum and then John Hoover.
And Marvin, you came in last year, obviously didn't get to go through spring ball and all that stuff due to the pandemic, but what's it like now for you being the experienced guy in the room? And there's several other new guys in there, whether it's Mario, several other guys that don't have as much playing time as you. What's your role like now, and how do you go about taking that day to day?
I mean, yeah, my role is tremendously different than it was last year. Even from when the season started to now, like Coach Simmons talked to me about it like midway through the season last year, like guys are going to start looking up to you, like to be a leader and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird just how I put myself in this position, especially here at the University of Oklahoma. But it's kind of cool being able to coach those guys up and them come to you and ask questions on something that they're confused about, they're unsure about. It's kind of like a big brother, little brother role.
Thanks.
John Hoover and then Josh Calloway.
Hey, Marvin, I'm wondering, 7-on-7s have become so huge. They're just a part of the culture now. Your off seasons are spent playing 7-on-7 and doing camps like that. I'm just wondering if that had a lot to do with your kind of sudden arrival last year. And do you expect the same from Mario and Cody behind you? You mentioned a young receiver room last year. It seems like it's getting younger this year.
Yeah, I mean, the 7-on-7s definitely help, just to not have the coaches, not to have the extra pressure of the coaches there and coaching you up and stuff. It's kind of like peer-to-peer type thing. So it's easier to listen, easier to respond back to them just because the coaches aren't breathing down your neck, hey, do this, do that. When they're out there, it's more like a chill, relaxed thing, they're just playing. So it's easier to like see what they're doing, how they're messing up, and it's easier to coach them on it.
And the young guys behind you, they're coming along well, I guess.
Oh yeah, they're coming along real good, real fast. They're picking up the offense. I mean, they're going to be really good guys. I'm excited about them.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, thank you.
Time for a couple more. Josh Calloway and Kerry Murdoch.
Yeah, Marvin, obviously you had the big freshman year, but unfortunately you had to do it in front of, 25% capacity for most of the year. Does it kind of give you a little, I don't know, hop in your step or a little extra boost, that thought of having full stadiums next year, a little extra boost in the spring?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something, ever since I saw it, something I've been thinking about. Last year running out there against Missouri State in front of, basically an empty stadium. I mean, I was still like real nervous, kind of like just nervous to play. So now when I run out there first time with a full stadium, I mean, I'm an experienced guy. I'm a sophomore now, but like it's going to be nothing I've ever experienced before. So it's going to be real interesting, but I'm really excited about it.
Okay, last one to Kerry. Kerry, I think you're still muted.
I'm sorry. Marvin, being a freshman last year, and now, as you said, you almost seem like a veteran on this team because you were so productive. I'm curious, when you look at these other freshmen, kind of, they're, you see some of their social media stuff and they look really wide-eyed, and they're taking, they're on Instagram in the hydrotherapy pool all the time and stuff. It just seems like they're kind of having the times of their lives. I'm curious, just kind of like the facilities that you guys have, as nice as they're, how much did that kind of help you guys as young guys a year ago? How much is it helping them to kind of bond and build chemistry together that, you can have a place like that you have at Oklahoma?
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard to build chemistry around here. I mean, you were up here with each other for a lot of the time, even when COVID was happening and like we couldn't really hang out outside of practice out of here just because, you didn't want to get positive and then have someone else sit out. I mean, just being able to be here and talk to each other all the time, I mean, it really does grow relationships quite fast. Even going back to me last year, that's still like a quick memory in my head. Just when I got here, I didn't really know anyone that well. And then the guys kind of took me on, talking to me, and then we just grew relationships that way. So especially, being up here all the time with the things we have at the facility, we're always spending time together. So it kind of just happens.